Most people completely overlook La Habra when they're thinking about Orange County, but in this video, we're gonna break down the pros and the cons of the city of La Habra. And honestly, on our Instagram and TikTok, if you guys aren't following us, we got tons of people requesting this, so this is definitely an anticipated one. Now, if you're new to the channel, my name is Christian. I'm a team leader and owner of Onyx Homes. We're a real estate sales team that has helped over 770 people move all over Southern California just since 2020. Now, I make these videos in this channel all about Orange County just so that we can help you make your next move a little bit easier so you can make better decisions. So let's go ahead and dive right in. I'm going to start with the pros and we'll get to the cons at the back half of the video. So the pros here, number one, has to be the biggest one, is affordability. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to pull up our website here. Now, it is under construction, so if you're wondering if it looks a little different when you pull this up at onyxhomes.com, we're getting this dialed in. So we wanted to make your life a little bit easier, and honestly our lives too. So I'm going to go in La Habra here. Now you do have La Habra Heights in the city of La Habra. Same deal here. La Habra Heights is going to be a subsegment, so you want to make sure you pick that one. So let's just go ahead and look at price. So there's 99 homes currently on the market. And if I go just from pricing from the lowest to the highest, you're going to see there's a lot of different manufactured homes. So that's going to make way more affordable as well. But if we take that out and we just look at residential, your most affordable is going to be in the 400s, right? So super, super affordable, one beds, 800-ish square feet, right? You can start to get into 2 bedrooms. That's a beauty right there. That must be a fixer-upper. That looks like a nice little flip property there. But there's all kinds of properties in the 400 or 500 range, which is not, honestly, there's some cities that really don't have any of that. So I'm pulling in La Habra Heights as well too to look at the high-end stuff, because there are much higher-end homes that are in La Habra Heights. So technically the same city, so we're going to be talking about that all together. So of the 105 properties, you can see the most expensive are still under $2 million. So for that to be the highest of the entire city in La Habra is definitely more affordable than most cities in Orange County. And I have a median home price here of $866,000. So compared to the rest of Orange County, this is well below, because the median home price right now is just right around $1.2 million. So we are well below that. So number one pro for La Habra is that it is more affordable than the rest, than in general the average for Orange County. Pro number two, which is going to be that La Habra overall has a very, very strong community feel. So a lot of family-oriented neighborhoods, and I will say the big thing is there's a lot of neighborhoods, meaning that there's a lot less commercial. It's a lot more suburbia than we will see in a lot of the other North Orange County cities. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to zoom all the way out so you can see where we're at. So I've got the satellite view here. Let me get rid of that. Let's go to the map view. And you can see where La Habra is. Now, a lot of people honestly misinterpret La Habra to be in Los Angeles County. It actually is Orange County. It is the absolute northmost point. And if you're looking in this general area, you're probably also looking in Whittier, Santa Fe Springs, La Mirada, Brea, especially your Belinda, Anaheim Hills. If you're looking in those areas, La Habra's got to be on your list as well. So this, I would say all of those cities for the most part that I just mentioned, all have that community feel as well too. The city is known for the Tamale Festival and the Corn Festival, which is fantastic. There is I'm going to link to the website right here of all the different stuff that's going on. This is just lahabraca.gov. This is kind of the city website, if you will. So there's some good information there as far as stuff that's going on, but definitely family feel. So let's move on to pro number 3, which is central location. So back to the map view here. If you zoom out, La Habra is very central to the tri-counties, right? So when we're talking about Orange County, Los Angeles County, and Riverside / San Bernardino County, quad counties, if you will. I'm making this up, by the way. I don't think it's an official name. You can see it's very central. So if you do commute a lot all over the place in this area of Southern California, this isn't a fantastic location. Now, I will say if you do commute to San Diego, you're adding in basically the entire drive of Orange County. If you're more of an LA commuter or Riverside San Bernardino commuter, this is incredibly convenient. Now, having said that, we're going to get into some cons that are related to that as well too. Now, outdoor lifestyle is the 4th pro we're going to talk about here as well too. So one thing with La Habra is that it is, I'll say, surprisingly convenient for access to green space. Now, if you're familiar with Orange County, there's not a lot of green space. If we're just looking at the map here, other than, well, obviously this isn't really Orange County necessarily. Other than that, there's really not any green space. We've got the Laguna Canyon that's a lot of green right down here. But other than that, that's really it. There's like little spots here and there where there's some greenery, but not a lot. If you look up here in La Habra and La Habra Heights, you do have a lot of the hillside. You've got some trails, you've got canyons, you've got all kinds of different stuff. So that's a huge pro if that's important to you. La Habra is also home to the West Ridge Golf Club. So if that is important to you, you've got that in there as well too. Now, before we move on to the pros, one thing that I cannot emphasize enough, and I can never get into these videos, is that all of this is depending upon the context. These pros and cons, I can talk very broadly after talking to hundreds of people and having thousands of conversations between me and my team and people just like you. We can talk all about how wonderful a city is or not wonderful, but I have no idea what you are thinking about. And the reality is every single person you have your own unique situation. So if you want help with your unique situation, how we can help you make your next move easier, save you tons of money, and honestly just take a lot of the headache away of moving and going through. If you're doing some research here, you probably want help eliminating this. So if you want to do that, you can book a call with our team. The link is going to be in the description below. You can always go to allaboutoc.com. We would be more than happy to. A quick, no cost, no obligation discovery call just helps us figure out how we can help you and make your life a little bit easier. So if you want to do that, link in the description below. But otherwise, let's get on to the cons here. So number one, big con for La Habra is the older infrastructure. Now this is rather common for the North Orange County cities, especially as we get closer to Los Angeles. But what we're gonna see is most of the homes were built in the 50s to the 70s. And especially right now in 2025, when I'm filming this, is we are a solid 50 to 75 years away from the age of most of these homes. And I will say almost all of your core major things that you have in a home are bad, if you will, by then. For example, your piping, your wiring, your roof, your HVAC systems didn't even have them if they were brand new. And even if they were remodeled, I would even say in their normal lifespan, they're probably needing to be done again. Other than plumbing and electrical, pretty much everything on the house is probably due again, right? So not every house, obviously, but in general with older homes, that's something you see a lot. And with older infrastructure, it's not just the houses, it's also for the city as well too. It's just older, right? Outdated plumbing, outdated all that stuff. Now, if you're looking for new construction, there's not very much of it at all in La Habra, so I would just nix it off the list right there and look at some of the other cities that we've covered in other videos for new construction. I'll probably link that video here as well too, because we did talk about that. Number two, you are gonna have a ton of traffic. So con number two is tons of traffic and commute times. You are almost in LA, now you're not downtown LA, but you are getting pretty darn close to the biggest congestion areas. So the 60 freeway, you've got the 91, which you're just above. You can jet over to the 5 freeway, but there's just no two ways about it. You're gonna have a lot of traffic in this general area. If I pull up traffic map in La Habra, let's just go ahead and pull this up. Now I'm filming this on a Tuesday at 3 o'clock. And you've got green all the way across the board. So in the actual city, not too bad. But once you jump into the 91, and mind you, we're not anywhere near rush hour traffic, your 5, you're gonna have tons of traffic, right? So generally speaking, the closer you are to this general area, you're gonna have a lot of traffic. So that's what it looks like right now. Again, not quite rush hour yet. Con number 3 is limited nightlife and high-end dining. So I will say one thing that's, I don't want to say unique. So a lot of cities in Orange County are gonna have nothing fun to do, let's just put it that way, and not a lot of restaurant. There's not a lot of nightlife, not a lot of restaurants. La Habra has that same issue as well too, and there's also not a lot of high-end stuff. So if you want to go, if you're like me and you like going to nice dinners. Now I live in Mission Viejo and I really don't have very many options, but there's really not very many at all options in La Habra. So you're going to be spreading out to other areas, which isn't a bad thing. If you live in this area, you're probably used to that anyway. But if you want to live in a city where you've got everything in the city, La Habra's probably not going to be it. If you care about nightlife, restaurants, any stuff like that, shopping, so on and so on. On the flip side, you're 15 minutes away from Fullerton, 10 minutes away from Brea, you're close to LA, so like your stuff's not that far away, but it's just very suburban. Now I've got one more con, and then I'll wrap up with some final thoughts, and this is school district variation. So depending on where you're actually at in La Habra, you're going to get way different schools. Now one thing we have on our website that Now, one thing I'm really glad that we added to our website is that if you click on a listing, let's just pull this guy here, and this is a $2 million house or just under that. I'm going to scroll down to the schools. So we have this on here as well too, as well as a mortgage calculator where you can see the generic school rating. So this says above average. If you want more information, you can just click on here and it's going to go to great schools, right? So it says above average because us as real estate professionals, we're not really supposed to give too much advice on schooling. So we just do as much as we can to help you out. But you can do your research, come here to great schools and see why it's rated a 9 out of 10. Because it's not just for education. There's a lot of other reasons, right? All the rating factors. So if you want to come in here, go to great schools, but you have this right through our website here, onyxhomes.com. Now this is a con because if schooling is important to you, having to pick your actual neighborhood and like location is really hard. So there are a lot of other cities that have fantastic schools with a lot of same pros as La Habra as well too, which is why this makes a con. Final thoughts, honestly, La Habra is a hidden gem. There's no wonder why so many people, I'll put all the comments up here, asked for us to do this on La Habra. By the way, if you're not following us on Instagram, TikTok, highly recommend it. We'll have the handle down here in the link description as well too. And if you want help with your unique situation, make sure you reach out to us. That link is also down there. Now, if you're looking in La Habra, watching this video to the end, you should probably also watch this video as well too. Hope you found it valuable. I'll see you in the next one.